Hello guys, sometimes back I got these second-hand guitars, both vintage guitars. About this one is the Yamaha and this one is Julian. Both are very old guitars, and I got both of them for about nothing. It cost me not much, so I experienced with it, and I tried to lower the action, and without any prior experience of lowering the action of the guitar or sanding down the frets. When I experienced with it, I got a lot of fret buzz in the guitars. And this one, this is the Yamaha FG 820 guitar, which I bought from the seller first hand, and it is the Chinese version of the Yamaha guitars. It also played very well, but I sanded down the frets and I lowered the bridge as well, and now it sounds bad and there is a lot of fret buzz. This one, the Yamaha second hand guitar, this plays very well, but I would want to change the frets on this guitar as well. So I am going to change the frets of all of these three guitars. So the question is, without having any prior knowledge of or experience of refretting a guitar, or any experience in carpentering or any other, or not having any other such abilities, would I be able to refret these guitars? As you people can see, I have already removed the frets on this guitar, but I'll show you when I remove the frets on this guitar and the other one as well. So I'll be moving on with this guitar first, as I have got the frets, the fret wire or the frets already ready-made frets for nylon string guitar, and this one is nylon string guitar, classical guitar. So I'll show you the whole process on this guitar. So stick with me as I go through the process. If I am able to refret the guitar and it sounds good, and there is no fret buzz, then I am either lucky or I am a luthier. And if it sounds bad, it won't hurt me much, because these are very cheap guitars in the secondary market. As a second hand guitar, these are very cheap guitars, so it won't hurt me a lot. And I'll be going at it again. I'll refret it again until I am good at it. So let's see if it works. I have seen 2 or 3 videos on guitar fret changing or refretting of the guitar, and I have bought some tools, as I have bought this file to sand down the sharp edges of the frets. I have ordered this online. This is a fret cutter. If the fret wire are longer than the required so I'll use this to cut the fretworks. This is a saw to saw in the slots for the frets to sit in properly. These two I bought for pulling the frets. These are fret pullers. All of these cost about nothing. Some glue, and for sanding down the fretboard, while I have removed the frets, I have made this file, or by gluing this sandpaper to this wooden slab. Hope it works well. So, and I've also bought this hammer, this rubber hammer, for hammering in the frets into the fretboard. I didn't want to use the ordinary steel hammer because that would probably damage the frets. So I'll first try this one. So all these tools are very cheap in the market, easily available. So let's try refretting the guitars with these tools without any prior knowledge or experience of guitar workmanship or any carpentering. So let's try using these ordinary tools to pull these frets. All you have to do it is to catch it right and pull it. Not working from this side, so let's try. Yes. Yes, you can see I've pulled the fret out. So this is the fret. It has been sanded away so many times that it has almost vanished. Almost. You can see it has been sanded away quite a few times. And these amateur guitarists like me do it in order to lessen the fret buzz. So this is the fret. So let me come back and show you the rest of the process after I pull out all these frets. You can see I've eased the frets. So it's easy to pull them out. When you see the videos of luthiers doing these things, when they pull the frets, they would instruct you a lot of things, like to heat up the frets in order to loosen them, and they'd given easily and would pull easily. But I didn't do anything of the sort. I didn't heat them up I just pulled it straight away and it worked very well. These are the frets, and you can see there is not a lot of wear and tear on the fretboard. There is a bit, but not a lot. So now we will sand down the fretboard a bit in order to level it up with the wear and tear. So this is the pile or the sandpaper I glued to the ordinary wooden slab, and it is of higher grade, very rough sandpaper. So let's sand the fretboard down with it. I will not bother you people with the whole process. Let me just show you the fretboard after I have sanded it down. Not doing it like a luthier, but like a carpenter. Doing it very rough and tough. At the end of the day, what am I gonna lose? Just a few bucks guitar. That's okay. But if it come out good and it works well, then I am a luthier, right? As you people can see, I've sanded away the fretboard, and from the look of it you can tell that I have sanded it very hard. Let's clean it a bit with the paper. With an ordinary cloth, a lot of dirt. So this is how it looks like. Well, the luthiers were right to heat up the frets. While pulling it damages the fretboard. So it has damaged the fretboard a bit, but not to the level where it affects guitar playing. Now here comes the good part, to refret the guitar. So these are the new frets that I ordered online, and let's see how it works. So first I'll have to check the length of the frets with that of the fretboard and cut it to the scale. At the very end of the fretboard it's about the size, but as we move down the fretboard, the fretboard narrows down, so we will have to cut it to the size. Here at the higher end of the fretboard, the new fret's about 1.5 millimeter longer, so we have to cut it a bit. Let's not cut it more than the required length. Let's see it is about the length of the fretboard, of the width of the fretboard. So cut it exactly as required. As you people can see, I've placed the fret into the slot, into the fretboard. Now is the part to hammer in the fret into the exact position. So let's hammer it in. I'll have to do it slowly with this rubber hammer and see if it is in level. When I level it from one side, it comes out from the other side. So yes, I'll have to glue it in. So let me show it after I glue it in and hammer it in. Well, while checking the frets, I just found out that these frets are cut to the scale. Some frets are smaller than the others, and gradually the length of the frets increase and decrease. So the frets are cut to size. Like this fret here, it's meant for the lower end of the guitar, like here, and other frets, they are much longer, that are meant for the higher end of the guitar. Like this one is much longer than the width of the fretboard. So they are cut to the scale, and I'll have to find the frets for the required length of the fretboard and then glue it in. As some of the frets do not sit properly, so we have to saw in all the way to fit in the frets easily. So I have got this narrow saw, not to widen the crack about, but just to fit in the fret properly. You can see here that the fret sits here now comfortably after I saw in the fret, so it has settled down pretty neatly. So let's sign all the frets, slots, and set in the frets very well there. Now you people could tell the difference. I have sawed in this slot while the rest are not yet sawed. So I'll saw all the rest of the fret slots as well and then show you the rest of the process. I have refretted the whole guitar, the whole fretboard, and I'll sand down the edges, the sharp edges of the frets. But let's first check out if it sounds good and if there is any fret buzz. Let's string the guitar. Well, I have stringed the guitar with only two strings, the higher E and the lower E. And let's check if there is any fret buzz. If these two strings are doing well, then hopefully the rest of the string will also be good. So let's see if there is any fret buzz. Very good. The first string is doing wonders. Very good. Let's check the sixth string. Oh, it's not good. It's definitely touching the second string or the third string. Oh yes, it is the second fret. While I press the first fret, the string touches the second fret. The second fret is good. All good, but the first fret, there is some problem with the first fret. Either the second fret is a bit higher or the first fret is dead low. So I'll have to, well, there seems a problem with the first fret. So I'll remove the first fret and then reinstall it. Well guys, after removing and replacing the first and second frets, the fret buzz has gone and all the frets are doing well. There is no fret buzz in any of the frets, and there is no fret buzz anymore, and the guitar plays very well. There was a slight buzz at the fourth fret at the D string for fourth string, and when I sanded it a bit, you can see I have sanded it down a bit, so it plays very well now. And at three of the strings, low and higher E and the D strings, there has been no fret buzz all over the fretboard. Let's check it out. And no fret buzz at the lower E string as well. So the experiment has been successful, and I have refretted the guitar and it works like butter. Now I'll have to sand down the sharp ends of the frets, and then I'll play it because it plays very well. Thank you for watching the video.